Good afternoon, everybody. My name is John. I'm a weapon of mass instruction, and I'm going to try to make this real quick. I was searching through my subscription videos that I have in my YouTube every day, and a couple things piqued my interest. One was Loyalty Day, which you can hear about that from DDUH TV. I'm sure there's articles about it on the internet. She was talking about how Obama issued a proclamation telling lawmakers, telling everybody to display an American flag and celebrate loyalty to America. This is the first time I ever heard of this, which is fucking hilarious because it was originally instituted in 1921, apparently, but was, even though it was an official holiday, was not recognized federally until 1958, when it was, I guess you could say, ratified by Congress. It was made official in 1958, and every year, apparently, a proclamation has been made by the U.S. President to observe Loyalty Day. But before I did this little research, and granted I did look at Wikipedia, so maybe fucking Obama said, alright, let's type this shit in here in Wikipedia, and there we go, it's official history now. Could be. But the first thing I thought of when I saw the title of that video, Loyalty Day. I don't need a fucking holiday to tell me when to be loyal to my country. I am loyal. Not to the President of the United States, not to Congress, not to any individual. I am loyal to the Constitution of the United States, the ideals that this country was founded on, every single day. That's what I'm loyal to. That's when I'm loyal to it. I don't need a fucking holiday to tell me how to be loyal to it. I don't need a flag on my wall to remind me to be loyal to it. The flag is just a symbol. In the end, that's all it is. You could go out there and you could burn a flag. You can freaking throw it in the dirt and stamp on it. And that's going to piss some people off. And I used to get pissed off at that. But whatever, like I said, everybody's free to think what they want to think. But I don't need a flag to tell me how to be loyal. I don't need a holiday to tell me how to be loyal. Mr. President, if you want to show us how to be loyal, then stop passing these fucking laws that are taking away our freaking rights. Stop shitting on the Constitution and smearing it on the wall. That's how you can show us how you're being loyal to our country. NDAA, NDRP, is that it? National Defense Resource something. These laws giving him the ability to detain anybody as a dissident, as a terrorist. Right now there are, what was it, over 1 million? As of 97, there were, 2007. As of 2007, there were over 1 million people on the fucking FBI's terrorist watch list. They calculated at the rate that people are getting added to it, the number of people on the watch list will be greater than the population of the United States by 2019. He has the ability, or will have the ability, I don't know if it's been passed yet, he will have the ability to confiscate any materials or goods or resources that the government deems necessary to protect the nation for national defense. So what? I was fucking smart and I fucking stocked up food. So now what? The fucking government can come and take away my food that I bought with my fucking money and tell me that they're going to do that and give it to other people because there's people out there who don't have food? You know what? Fuck that. I'll tell you what. Don't give me that communist bullshit. You're going to take away my shit because I was smart and you're going to give it to the people who are fucking stupid? who wanted to follow along like sheep and trust that the government was going to take care of everything for them, yeah, the government's going to take care of it. They're going to confiscate it from the people who are thinking for themselves and give it to the people who weren't thinking for themselves. Or maybe they'll fucking solve the problem the permanent way. Just some things to think about. This holiday that I hadn't even heard of until today. It's been a national holiday since 1958. I never heard that presidential proclamation, display your flags on May 1st. I always heard May Day. I always thought it was just like, it was like Earth Day or freaking some sort of celebration. I don't know, Flag Day. That's it, Flag Day. Is that it? I don't know. But you know, again, one fucking day out of the year to officially show your patriotism. You know, how about Memorial Day? You know, Veterans Day? Labor Day, that's not, you know, about patriotism. But like, how about every fucking day? And if you want to be a patriot, fucking speak out about what you think about what's going on in the nation, about what the politicians are doing to fuck up everything, about how our freaking First Amendment rights are being shat on, how the Secret Service can detain people who are exercising their First Amendment rights within earshot of any Secret Service member, which basically means anywhere near the president or members of Congress or anyone that the Secret Service is protecting, they can now legally detain you if you're not agreeing with what the people in charge are doing and saying. So if the president is in a parade and you're on the sidewalk and you're screaming what you think needs to happen, the Secret Service guys can take you away and put you in a fucking dark room. Isn't that awesome? Yeah, they can do that. The other thing that I heard about was that I can't remember the names of this company, but Chinese banking companies have been buying up U.S. banks in New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, I think Boston too, maybe, like major cities, and they've been buying the ownership of U.S. banks, and I heard that from multiple sources actually, and my first thought was that this is just going to make it easier for the Chinese to collect our debt. Apparently we owe them over $1 trillion. And if you'll recall, I believe we are right now $9 trillion in debt. It's a fucking lot of debt. If the Chinese collect one more $1 trillion, that's going to put us $10 trillion in debt. We the people. But I was thinking about that, and at first I was pissed off about it because China and Russia right now, they could collapse the US dollar today. China by calling in its debt. Russia by refusing to do business with America unless we go back to some sort of actual standard instead of just inflating the shit out of the dollar like we have been. That's going to cause a lot of fucking havoc. But I stopped and I thought about it for a little bit. And I realized that that's not it at all. If China wanted to collapse the US dollar, they would have done it already. If Russia wanted to do that, they would have done it already. They're not waiting around for the right moment. They would have done it already, because the longer that we stay afloat, basically the worse off it's going to be for them. Politically and economically speaking, I think. Because we're all interdependent. I think what it really is, I think it's a bit of a false flag operation right there. I know I've been saying this a lot, but I think the government and, you know, people at the top have been doing this a lot, and not just in the huge ways like, you know, 9/11 being an inside job, the, you know, hypothetical false flag event in Chicago, which apparently the G8 summit is supposed to be in Camp David instead of Chicago, but it was going to be in Chicago. I don't know if that's separate from the NATO summit. I got to look that up. I think that the NATO summit is the G20, and I think that's going to happen in Chicago anyway. But you know, false flag event at the London Olympics, apparently, possibly still. You know, we've been seeing a lot of signs of that, like in the Google Doodle that had to do with the Olympics. The little guys the little made-up guys that are freaking running and doing whatever for the Olympics. All that stuff. So that's there, but I think there's a lot of stuff that's smaller, but it's still supposed to affect us certain ways. I think what they're trying to go for with this, with the Chinese buying out banks, is to produce another, external scare. Like all these sheep, I think, are going to be afraid of China now, if they weren't already. And for a while I was, before I woke up, I was afraid of China. That's still a possibility, but I'm not nearly so much afraid of the possibility of them invading or freaking collecting their debt as I was before. But I think for the people that are still asleep, it's a good possibility that this news of Chinese banks buying up American banks is simply, I'm pretty sure it's actually happening, but I think it's there just to scare. I think that's it. It's just there to scare the American people, keep them in line through fear. I wonder what's next coming out of the lips of the Ayatollah of the United States. I can imagine a couple of laws that would go along with that. That would, okay, so now we're afraid of China collecting its debt. Maybe there's going to be some sort of a law that gives the president and the executive branch the ability to confiscate our money in order to help pay for the national debt. Or institute some sort of ludicrous taxation that none of us really approves of. But the sheep out there are going to say, yeah, let's do it. Let's get rid of this national debt so we don't have to worry about it. Yeah, please. Put more of the American people even further below the poverty line. Jack up the unemployment rate even higher. And what happens? Starting to wonder if maybe they're hoping for a second American Revolution. Second Civil War. An actual armed uprising. Because people are just so sick and tired of being sick and tired. Wonder if that's what they're aiming for. Because then they wouldn't need any false flag operations anymore. They could say, okay, good, American people, fuck you. Y'all are going to fucking FEMA camps. And that's where it would begin. Just another possibility thrown out there. I was going to upload a video about Agenda 21, and I'm going to get to that, but I'm going to re-film it because it ended up being half an hour long, and that's just ridiculous. I don't want to upload something that long. You guys aren't going to want to listen to it. Half of you probably haven't even gotten this far, but that's fine. But today's still a good day. As you can see, it's relatively sunny out. Not too cold, not too hot, a little bit of wind. I like that. Been talking to a girl, and I like that. Cool. So life is good. Scary, but it's okay. Y'all stay safe now. Just keeping you up to date with the news if you haven't already seen it. Again, my name is Joe, and I am a weapon of mass instruction. I'll talk to you all probably tonight. Peace.